Now, the major challenge ahead of UK's newly appointed Prime Minister Liz Truss is to uplift the country's economy. Her plans to a backseat with the Queen's death. This as the country went into national mourning. Now, as ministers will return to Westminster after the funeral, the government is under pressure to revive the economy. Truss announced that businesses would benefit from a cap on energy bills similar to that of domestic users for 6 months. But the Queen's sudden death halted further action on that plan. The Director General of the British Chamber of Commerce welcomed the plan. However, he added that there needs to be clarity on the size of the cap and what is going to happen after 6 months. UK business organisations have warned of dire consequences if they continue to be left in limbo over the level of support in the medium term. UK's new Business Secretary, Jacob Rees-Mogg, is expected to make an announcement regarding support for businesses on September 21st. Meanwhile, the new Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, is expected to unveil a huge package that includes details of the energy price cap and $30 billion in tax cuts on September 23rd. Economists predict that a key challenge for Prime Minister Truss will be to prevent the international money markets from losing confidence in Britain's markets. With inflation running high, the economy is expected to contract in the second half of this year. Let's talk more about this, and joining us now is Klisman Murati, who is an economist. Klisman, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
This week after the Queen's funeral will be a defining moment for the new Prime Minister. What should Prime Minister do in her first order of business and avert this energy issue from being a crisis, or, as the Chamber of Commerce puts it, imminent mass bankruptcies?
I think that's a very extreme view to take, but I think she has a lot on her plate, obviously. She has a lot to deal with in terms of internal policy and foreign policy. And I'm sure her team and her cabinet are drawing up priorities for her, and she's very active in this right now. But the first thing I think she has to focus on is the immediate inflation challenge that the UK faces and finding ways in which to bring that down. And energy inflation is what drives up all other kinds of inflation, especially in this climate. So controlling that and making sure that prices for energy is lowered so that not only people but businesses can sustain their operations throughout the winter period is going to be key.
Winter is fast approaching, and we all know that. Do you believe the United Kingdom or any other European country affected by Russian cuts on energy have a fallback plan that probably they're a bit jittery to touch, but could ultimately be their saving grace?
Well, the fallback plan in everything like this is working together to try to find a common solution, because the long-term things that countries like Germany should have been doing is diversifying their energy mix and not relying heavily on Russia. But that didn't happen, which is causing the issues that we're seeing today. So the best thing they can do, again, is try to find ways to reduce costs for their people and for their businesses. And if that means levies on incomes from energy companies, windfall taxes, or reducing consumption, all of these have to be looked at and have a plan for moving on into the winter time, because it's going to be a very critical time for European economies, especially as winter comes. Energy usage will increase, and if there's no plan in which to hedge prices or to lower consumption, then Europe in general is going to be in a very bad place come January.
Well, the British government has a lot at stake, and there's a lot in limbo here. There are many who are saying that it should focus on businesses first. There are others who are saying they should focus on households first. What is your take on that?
Well, both is the answer, because households work in businesses and they rely on business to bring on to bring home an income. So naturally, focusing on businesses doesn't mean you neglect households. They come together. So naturally, a package needs to be put together of help for businesses. But again, you have to remember that certain businesses which don't have high energy consumptions aren't affected as much as other businesses, let's say restaurants and service businesses, which do rely on more heavy energy consumption. So it can't be a one approach for everyone. It needs to be very particular to the industry and to the sector they're looking at to provide support as and when required by that sector.
All right, I've been talking to an economist. His name is Klisman Murati. Thank you very much for making time and for talking to WION today.
Thank you so much.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.